they have beer belly, or they got obviously they look like, they're 55 years old sometimes, right? So the guys in the stands are talking to their buddy and they're like, why aren't you out there? Like you ride bikes, you're 55, you get out there. And, maybe next year they give it a shot.
Freak Nation, his name again is Colton Haaker. He's a 5-time Endurocross champion. You saw his win last night in Oregon, and he's joined us now here in the Freak Nation. And you do the research on you, Colton, and there's comparisons to you to other greats in the two-wheel categories, whether it's Jeremy McGrath or Ricky Carmichael. But we'll leave that aside. You're a badass when it comes to Endurocross, frankly, a series that a lot of people aren't too familiar with. But when you look at what Endurocross combines with, your overall athleticism has got to be pretty freaking bonkers compared to some of the other series that are out there.
Yeah, Endurocross is crazy. We end up with riding over rocks, logs, tires, sand, water, trees, everything they can find kind of outdoors. And they're bringing it indoors into a stadium for us to kind of do a gate drop and race on tight quarters with 16 guys with not enough room. So it's a little chaotic and unpredictable.
Colton Haaker joining us here in the Freak Nation, 5-time Endurocross champion. Got a big win last night in Oregon. You saw it on MAV TV. And I believe you started out in motocross and supercross. Why give that up and get into Endurocross?
Well, I don't know how much you guys follow motocross and supercross, but if you're not kind of the guy when you're about 12 years old, yep, you might not get anywhere, right? So, I didn't have any spotlight on me at 12 years old by any means. If anything, parents, I think, took away my dirt bikes by the time I was 14 because I hit my head too many times. So they said, you know what, just go to high school, be a regular kid. And I picked up a trials bike after some good grades. That my dad bought me a trials bike after some good grades, I should say. And I started riding trials after I rode motocross and off-road. And then Endurocross came out in 2004, and I was 16 years old, and I watched the first one, and then 2 years later, I was out there racing.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so something tells me also that you like the unpredictability of Endurocross. You thrive on that different kind of competition because, let's face it, clearly you're very good.
Yeah, what's cool about Endurocross, besides the fact that it's unpredictable, which means at any point someone can make a major mistake and throw a race away. The race leader is never a certain, right? I think in a lot of other racing, we find that the guy gets out front and then that's the end of that a lot of times in two-wheel racing. Mm-hmm. That's not the case in Endurocross. Another really thing that's cool about Endurocross is we're like a big family. We have a novice class, we have a junior class, we have a vet class. We got 55-year-old guys out there racing in front of 6,000 people watching. And sometimes the vet racing is honestly the best racing of the night. You got guys, they're relatable, mm-hmm. they take their helmet off, they have beer belly, or they got obviously they look like, they're 55 years old sometimes, right? So the guys in the stands are talking to their buddy and they're like, why aren't you out there? Like you ride bikes, you're 55, you get out there. And, maybe next year they give it a shot, right? Because their buddy bets them a case of beer or something.
Oh my gosh. See, Kenny, there's a shot. There's a shot for you. You can get back on your two wheels.
I could do it.
No, okay. You talk about how anything can happen at any moment. Yes, that is very true in Endurocross. And it happened to you last night. How many points did you lose in the second moto that might affect you being able to leap up and take this championship?
Yeah, so we raced 3 motos a night. Each moto is Olympic scoring. So if you get first place, you get 1 point, right? And the lowest point tally at the end, wins the night. So I won the first moto. Second moto, I'm leading to the second to last turn, and a lapper turns into me on the rock pile, and I lose the front end. I crash down the side, crash into some tires, go over the bars. A little bit overly spectacular for what it was, and I end up third. So now I'm going to the final race with 4 points, and my other competitor has had 3 points, and another competitor has 5 points. So at the end, we're whoever wins the last race is going to come out the winner of the night. And then on the night, they pay a total of 30 points for the win, 25 points for second, and, obviously down from there. So the difference between winning and getting maximum points and losing can be just as simple as a lapper pulling over in front of you in one of the three motos that night.
Wow. Colton Haaker. We're learning something here. I think I do remember seeing some Endurocross and something. Maybe it's at X Games or something like that. In the last segment, we were talking about drivers and personalities and so forth. And it sounds like you kind of made that decision in changing from Supercross and Motocross into Endurocross. What do you think is the biggest draw for fans? Is it the competition, the show, or the personalities of the people who are competing?
I think Endurocross is a great mixture of all those things. The riders. I'm 34 years old now. I'm a veteran. I have two kids, 5 and 3 year old daughters, and I've been doing this for 12 years or something now. Something maybe more than that. 15 years. So I've gone from the youngest racer out there to one of the oldest in the pro class over the last 15 years. And in my career, I've done 360s on dirt bikes and backflips, and been a social media presence and a personality on YouTube, and I've drawn a lot of people into the sport that way, with showing a lot of different skills than just being able to ride over rocks and logs. I'm also capable of doing all these other things, and all the other riders also have a lot of personality and come from a lot of different backgrounds and places. The show itself, for the money that you're paying on the night, I believe the show does gives you back on your money. It gives you a good return, as well as the racing speaks for itself. And like I said, there's something for everybody there. There's a junior class. There's kids out there that are 14 years old riding around and trying to race. And there's 50-year-olds out there in one of the classes, right? There's kind of something for everybody. And then what's also cool about Endurocross is we're all very approachable and available to the fans. The pits are wide open to anyone with a ticket holder. They don't have to buy an extra pit pass. They can come right down and talk to me while I'm eating dinner, basically, because I'm eating into the pits, and it's like that kind of for everybody. And so I think you just get an atmosphere that's just pleasant and easygoing for fans to come and meet people like myself that they might find idolize, and then talk to other guys about God, what do they do during the week to just get there on the weekend and pay for themselves with all their broken parts after the race, right? So.
Colton Haaker.
He's referring to the bikes, by the way, not the body parts.
Yeah, a little bit of it.
5-time Endurocross champion. This segment is 10 minutes long. We could go 20 minutes. Colton, I think this is going to be the last time you're going to be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Quickly here, you've got 4. You've got Johnny Walker, you've got Tristan, you've got you and Cody Webb. You can throw a blanket over you 4 to win the championship. It's badass, and it's coming down to Reno to win this damn thing. You got about 30 seconds, 45 seconds I'll give you to respond.
Yeah, I found myself in a position right now as an underdog. I'm 12 points down in the lead. There's a 12-point swing between first and fourth. So if Johnny, the current leader, finishes fourth, and Tristan Hart finishes third, and Cody Webb finishes second, and I finish first, if all the chips fall my way, I'm the champion. I can't control all those variables. All I can do is control myself trying to win, and that puts myself in the best position possible. We all know that about racing. That's what I have to do. Just go out there and try to execute my race, win the race, and let the chips fall where they fall. And however they do fall, honestly, congratulations to that competitor, whoever takes it. They deserve it, and they earned it.
It's badass.
It's been a fun season.
Colton Haaker here in the Freak Nation. Again, 5-time Endurocross champion. Dude, thanks for doing this, man. If you wrap up the championship, we'll be back in here, okay?
Awesome. Let's do it. Thanks, guys.